investing in Nigerian players. This guy won yesterday and was impressive. Lost his first set 6-love. Came back to win 6-3, 6-love. That was morale booster for him. Now he met a better player and he has lost. But Joseph, good experience in the bag.
Absolutely. You know, that is the hallmark of this tournament. It's just unfortunate that we don't have much of this going on. You know, apart from Dala and CBS, these guys don't get exposed. They have to wait for the Governor's Cup, and then these guys from abroad that are more experienced, look at some of them, this is their fourth, fifth, you know, tournament this year. But in the case of Nigeria, it's not always the case. You know, sponsorship issues. But this is fantastic opportunity for him. The wealth of experience that he's going to gather from this, you know, tournament would help him going forward. But I just hope that the authorities will take note of his skill and his talent and expose him to further competitions. Because there is no way these guys are going to get better if they are not exposed to international meets and competitions. If you look at in other sports, that's the case. Table tennis, you know, you have to go out. You have to get into the mix. You have to play these guys. Some of them, you know, in their own turf, get exposed. Spend the same, you know, time with them. You realize that after some time, these guys will improve greatly.
That's right, Joseph. See the reason given. Ime could not match the superior power of the well-traveled and experienced Turkish player. I went on to list 6-love, 6-3. That just sums up what you said. They need to play more competitions. You know, look, it's what you saw, you reap.
It's obvious. There is no other way. You can't shortchange. You've got to pay the price. It's going to cost a lot of money, but you have to expose these guys. That's the only way they can get better.
And I like the fact that we have championships now that are making us talk about it. And tennis for me just does it because we don't get to talk about it a lot of times. At the start of the last year and the start of this year, the Nigerian Tennis Federation, they were busy with a lot of grassroots programs here and there. But this is a top class, you know, competition. So you need to bring your A game, and if you don't have it, you'll be beaten. Let's get on with the show now. Action-packed on the sports. Drop tennis. Talk about badminton. Update from the board of the Nigerian Badminton Federation says they are fixed Wednesday the 8th till Saturday the 11th this year for the first Katsina National Badminton Championship. That's so beautiful. And 4 days later, it doesn't end in Katsina. 4 days later, the train, we move to the Center of Excellence. That's Lagos State, where the first, the National Badminton Championship will take place now. It's slated for Wednesday the 15th to Saturday the 18th. This year. Fantastic. This is what we're talking about. We've just moved on from one sport to another now. Busy, busy, busy.
Yeah, absolutely busy. And I've also, you know, noticed something about the federation. Since the election, there have been a surge of activities, you know, across federations. The other day, you know, what's it called? Taekwondo went to visit the IDP camp. You know,
trained
coaches, and you know, so these are what our sports need. You know, exposure, activities. You know, from moving from Katsina, the home state of the president, now to Lagos, City of Excellence. You know, so a lot is going on. The activities are going on. Our players are getting exposed. They are getting competitions. That is the only way they can get better.
A player does well in Katsina, comes to Lagos, he can sustain the momentum. You know, you gives the federation opportunity to monitor him. Coaches too will be busy, and you know, looking for talent here and there.
Exactly, and then you look for competitions outside the shores of the country to expose them to as well. You know, so really the most important thing is that these associations, they have to be active. They have to have competitions going on. That is the only way you can keep the line of production going. Because if you're just dormant, you're not doing anything, I mean, nothing will happen. You won't have world beaters.
So let's remind you the date again. Two venues, Katsina and Lagos. The one for Katsina is fixed for Wednesday the 8th till Saturday the 11th. This year, and then 4 days after, the train will come to Lagos. Wednesday the 15th till Saturday the 18th. Lagos will be busy. It's all about the National Badminton Championships, and we love it. We've just talked about tennis, badminton just gone by. Now let's talk about basketball. Action-packed all the sports. We have updates from the FIBA Africa Zone 3. What are they saying? They have announced the postponement of its zonal elimination championship, which is supposed to be hosted by Nigeria from the 11th till the 18th of November 2017. This is contained in a letter signed by its president, Colonel Sam Amedu, and addressed to FIBA Africa, the Nigeria Basketball Federation, and 7 other countries under the zone. Amedu said the competition, which should have dunked off On the 20th of October, at the Indoor Sports Hall of the National Stadium in Lagos was postponed due to administrative reasons, despite the readiness of the Federation. Administrative reasons, and the Federation is ready. It confuses us.
Very, very pregnant. You know, nothing much was given. But I do believe that, you know, each time I just think, I hear FIBA and hear Nigeria, NBBF, what comes to my mind is the deadline.
It's November 30th.
It's approaching.
It's
and it's almost as if the authorities are just looking away. You know, as if they've somehow negotiated it and it won't happen. It's getting close. The other day, I was reading the papers this morning that Kwesi, you know, prospect camp kicks off today, 18th to 21st of October by the Tijani Umar faction. These guys are not talking of resolving these issues. They're just getting on and almost, I mean, it's very disturbing.
But let's wish them well, because I believe we've seen national teams doing well. So all the best. The FIBA Africa Zone 3 would have given us reasons to talk, but they have explained it will be moved because of administrative
Very
reasons.
pregnant.
Let's come back to the show now. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, they've qualified for the 2018 FIFA. I was coming from FIFA World Cup in Russia. And you guys have been asking loads of questions. What's next for the team? They need to play quality-friendly matches and all of that. I don't have questions. I caught up with Super Eagles technical advisor, Gernot Raw. I asked him what's next for the team. He answered.
The next step now will be the game in Algeria. We have the last game to play in this competition of the qualifiers, but also a friendly we will do just after the Algerian game. Now the next step will be to see all our players. We couldn't play with 23, we could see only 14, and but now we are qualified, so we can test some of our new players on some positions. We know that we have to be better, we have to improve, and this is the opportunity against Algeria. We don't want to lose, but we just have to see all our players now. So this is really the opportunity to see some other players in some positions where we need perhaps to do better. So I will wait for this game, and I will wait for the friendlies we can do after, to have really an idea about the players who can come to Russia with us. We need, of course, to play against European teams, because it's sure that we have at least one team from Europe in our group. Also to make a friendly against South America teams, because it's sure also to have at least one team from South America in our group, and to have perhaps the
So that's it. Super Eagles technical advisor Gernot Raw speaking on the next plan for the Super Eagles. Let's go on this quick break now. When we come back, we'll break down what he just talked about. Don't go anywhere. Stay.